Alright guys, how's it going? Tonight we're doing the 200 subscriber contest for the Doom and for Freddy's. I think these guys are pretty much at 300 these days, so I've been dragging my feet a bit with this one, but we're going to go for it. I'm kind of giving the game away a little bit here. So the first question is set by the Doom, and that is show 5 covers from one of your favourite artists. I've mentioned him before quite a lot. When I was first collecting comics, picking up comics, I was buying essentially Alan Moore stuff and Grant Morrison stuff, and Batman. It took me a while to kind of branch away from that, and you're going to see that a lot of this kind of stuff tonight, or in this video. It doesn't matter that it's tonight, does it? So I've chosen John Tottleben as my cover artist. So we're just going to show a heap of Miracle Mans here. There's book 11, book 12, and John Tottleben's got like some disease in his eyes, so he's like legally blind. Like his vision is impaired. It comes in and out. Like he's got days where he can see better than others, if you see what I mean. Which is just incredible when you see his art, and I just love that cover. A friend of mine's got that signed by Tottleben right under where his name is there on the right. Sickens me every time. There's book number 14. And finally book number 16. And I'm leaving out 15 for a reason that's going to become clear in a minute. So that's my cover artist. Tottleben is fantastic. His interior work as well, with him and Bissett and him and Leech and stuff like that. Like they did a lot of stuff in this start of Alan Moore's Swamp thing. That is kind of where I found them, and then I kind of started picking up Miracle Man as I could. And yeah, so that's Miracle Man. That's my 5 cover artists or whatever. So the next question, which was set by Doom, was books that you struggled to get hold of, or books that you couldn't get hold of. And eBay's pretty good. I mean, you can pretty much find anything, but sometimes it just doesn't work out for you. So these aren't necessarily rare. These are just books I really struggled to get when I wanted them. This is the first one. This is Superman Speeding Bullets. It's an Elseworlds story. What would have happened if Superman landed in Gotham and was taken in by the Waynes instead of the Kents? Pretty much. And then basically Batman's story happened to him, so he was taken in and then his parents were murdered. Anyway, you don't need to know that, but that's a great book. That took me ages to get. I actually had to buy a lot of books that had this in it, and I ended up selling the lot and making my money back. So it all came good in the end. Bizarrely, V for Vendetta 8, must have had about 4 or 5 copies of this. Every single one I got was just shredded. I found 2 or 3 in comic book shops throughout the UK, and they've always just been destroyed. I finally managed to get a nice one. Again, I had to buy a lot to pick that up. Same with Watchmen, for some reason. Issue 6, I was missing this for literally 2 years, and then it finally got too much. I think I ended up paying £10 or £12 or something like that for that. It's totally not worth that. I just had to get it bought and get that series finished. I've taken out the wrong book here, but we'll show it anyway. Swamp Thing 21. I actually didn't struggle to get that at all. I got that, I think that was 12 quid. I was happy with that. It was 20 I meant to take out, which took me, again, years of just searching for it. So that was pointless. But there's Swamp Thing 21 anyway. And finally, there's the reason I took it out. Miracle Man 15. I literally bidded, however you want to describe it, however you want to say it, on must be 40 to 45 copies of this book, and it just kept going for prices I wasn't willing to pay. You alright, bud? Finn's whining. I think he wants his dinner. Tough shit. Yeah, it just kept going over the price I was willing to pay for it. So I eventually got one, but every single time one came up for auction, I bid on it for literally 6 months, and I eventually got it, and it's in really nice condition as well. So yeah, and they were the kind of the crown jewels of the collection for a good couple of years until Marvel started reprinting them, and they've kind of lost a bit of value. But I think the value's maybe going back up again. I'm not sure. But anyway, for a while, this was the only way you could read it. So there was Eclipse trades, but they were even rarer than the books. I think there was only one print run of each of the trades. So anyway, now that Marvel have reprinted them, it's a bit more accessible. But they're supposed to be coming out with new stuff, and it's just been put off and put off and put off. I don't think we're ever going to see the end of that Neil Gaiman run. Another book that was tough to find was this, Warrior Summer Special 1982. This is the only Miracle Man or Marvel Man story that wasn't reprinted by Eclipse. So if you want to read this story, you have to buy this one. Finn, sit. Sit. Good boy. Yeah, you have to buy this to get this story. It's not even that special, it's like a framing story, but still, if you want to collect the whole set, you need a copy of the Warrior Summer Special. For ages, this was the only Warrior book I had. I've started picking them up when I see them cheap. But again, yeah, I'm not too fussed about having the full set, but I think if I can get to, say, 10 issues, then yeah, I'll snap up the rest. And then finally, for this one, I don't know if you had a certain amount I was supposed to show here, Freddy's, but I've gone a bit crazy. But this is the last one. This is Near Myths issue number 2. This is the very first published work by Grant Morrison. Again, this was a book that I was just searching for, every week, typing Near Myths 2 into eBay, until one eventually came up. And yeah, I don't even think I paid a lot for this. I think this was £14 or something like that. And it's really nice condition. I would love to go to a convention that Grant Morrison is at and get this book signed. That would just be amazing. I've got heaps of stuff I would like to take, but this is the one. If I could only get one signed by him, this is the one I would want. So yeah, that's all of that. That's such a great cover as well, isn't it? Yeah, so finally, the question was, do you prefer your books slabbed or unslabbed? And the answer is, for me, unslabbed. I buy my books to read them. I collect them, but I collect them so I've got a full set of books to read. I like picking up rare books and stuff like this, but honestly, this book I bought to read. Same with the Miracle Man series, that was the only way you could get it. The fact that it was rare just kind of made that better, if you see what I mean. Like, made it better to read, so it made me want to read it more. Christ, I'm struggling to speak. So anyway, I've only got one book that is slabbed, and it's not even really slabbed, it's like a pseudo-slabbing. And it's this one. I won this from Semperfi Comic Guys contest. There's a Carnage that he sent with it. And yeah, it's this. So, I spoke to Semperfi about this, and I'm going to put my money where my mouth is. I'm going to crack this thing open, and we are going to read it tonight. So, that's cool. Right, I need to make sure the camera's on, but I'm not watching this through the camera. So, here we go, guys. 9.4 CBCS. It's done. It's worth nothing. Well, it's worth whatever the book's worth. Oh my god, I'm crapping myself that I'm going to cut this. Okay, here we go. We're in. I'm going to save that top bit, I think, and put it in the back of the bag and board. Am I in? Right, guys, I'm in. I'm in. Oh my god. Okay. Oh, it's kind of staticky in there. So yeah, I spoke to Semperfi about this, and because obviously I won this from him. Oh baby, and he said he gave me his blessing to get this thing cracked. There it is. Look at that, guys. That's a 9.4 Spider-Man 300. I'm getting a back and board. Anyway, that's getting read, and then it's going straight in a bag and board. And actually, I'm going to prefer it in that bag and board, because this thing is pretty flimsy, man. It needed that outer shell. So anyway, guys, that's the entry to my competition, to your competition. Congratulations on all your subs, guys. You guys are just killing it with this competition just now. Contest, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, thanks for everyone else watching. And yeah, I'm away to read Spider-Man 300. Sweet. Take it easy, guys.